Hey guys, want to just do a quick recap with you on the causes of the Great Depression. I know you should have already read chapter 30, taking your notes, but this video is going to give you a little recap. And I'm going to kind of stop and pause throughout. It's really short, it's only 2.5 minutes long. Make sure you get the key elements. You're going to go through 5 causes of the Great Depression. Please make sure you're jotting things down, or at least highlighting in your text or in your notes what you see as already taken place as we watch this short video.
The Great Depression in America is one of the most defining moments of U.S. history. While there are a few key moments that shape the period, the cause is complex, distributed among several factors. Here are the top 5 causes. Stock market. The most noted cause of the Great Depression is the stock market crash on Black Tuesday, October 29, 1929. Americans lost $14 billion on that one day alone, and more than $40 billion in the following months. This is despite millions of dollars being pumped into the market to stabilize it. The collapse of the stock market would continue for 3 years before firmly regaining ground. Bank failures.
Okay, you guys got that stock market crash, Black Tuesday. People pump money into the stock market and then things absolutely just fell apart.
In the first 10 months of 1930, 744 banks failed. Throughout the entire decade of the 1930s, 9,000 banks failed and billions of dollars in depositor money went with them. Several factors converged to decimate the banking industry. Loss of money from Black Tuesday, massive withdrawals by frightened customers, defaults on loans, and their own poor investment practices.
Let me stop you there. So this is what they call the bank runs. When we played our game, but we watched the video before. We have that American Story of Us, have the man went and pulled his money out of the bank. That was the bank run. Everyone pulling the money out. Okay, so lots of money Black Tuesday. Withdrawals, so everyone's taking the money out. Customers defaulting. Defaulting your loan means you can't pay your loan back, and so that goes back to the whole idea of consumerism. We bought more than we can actually pay for. We bought on installment, and then people making poor choices investment-wise.
Ultimately, 4% of all money in the U.S. banks would disappear. Consumer spending. Prior to the onset of the Great Depression, the U.S. was already facing a downturn in consumer spending. With the stock market crash and bank failures, these cautionary consumer practices were dramatically increased, beginning a downward spiral where lack of demand for goods and services caused a drop in production, which in turn caused a decrease in the workforce. As unemployment rose, overall consumer capital fell, which further reduced consumer demand for goods and services.
Okay, I want to make sure we understand all that. So that's the idea of overproduction, underconsumption. We produced more than people can buy. So overproduction, we made way more cars than anyone's going to buy. So all those people who are working in the factories, they no longer going to have a job because under consumption, people are not buying the products anymore. Okay.
Tariff increases. As the global economy collapsed, governments protected themselves at the expense of other countries, a practice known as beggar thy neighbor. One major act in America was the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, controversially passed June 17, 1930. This act radically increased U.S. import tariffs in an attempt to promote buying American. While there was a clear initial benefit, the retaliatory actions by other countries carrying out much of the same practice as the U.S. severely hurt American exports, which was especially damaging to the agricultural market.
Okay, so with this whole Haley-Smoot tariff, or Smoot-Haley tariff, however you want to say it, the American government wanted to try to help American farmers get their product sold. So they're saying, all right, if you're Germany, if you're Italy, and you're going to try to sell a product to the United States, you're going to have to pay more taxes. The idea is other countries will not be able to sell as much product, especially farm products. Therefore, other countries will buy it from the United States. Well, the problem was other countries didn't like this because it was affecting their ability to sell their product, their grains, and so they created more tariffs. And so you have back and forth countries creating tariffs and taxes so they are protected. In turn, no one's spending any money.
Drought. Plaguing the American Midwest in the 1930s, a long-term drought dried up lands and killed crops. The direct economic impact was individual inability to pay taxes and a widespread default on loans which crippled overextended banks. The people affected were often made homeless or displaced, forcing them to travel for work and creating the largest migration in U.S. history. Thanks for watching. For more information, please see.
Okay, so there's your quick recap of the Great Depression. We have our stock market crash where people in the stock market lost money. We have this idea of consumption, overproduction, underconsumption. We have a lot of product that people aren't buying because people just don't have the money anymore. We had misuse of money in the 1920s or in the Roaring '20s. People spent more than they actually had. We have the whole idea of the bank run. We have banks collapsing because banks don't have money. People put money in, and then they started pulling it out rapidly. That was the whole idea of the bank run. And then that Haley-Smoot tariff, where the United States was trying to protect its own personal interest by raising tariffs or taxes on any good that they're going to import, hopefully making it so people would buy American products. Problem was other countries did the same thing, so nobody sold anything. Then the last thing being the drought that impacted farmers and a lot of agricultural states in the Midwest, making it so they couldn't produce the products they normally produce. So there's a quick recap of the causes of the Great Depression. Thanks, guys.